Last time we read this sutta halfway. We finished reading the first summary of the Dhamma, the explanation of the first summary of the Dhamma. Life in any world is unstable. It is swept away, which means everyone will be afflicted by old age, and eventually, the life will be swept away from them. 39. Master Ratapala. There exists in this court elephant troops and cavalry and chariot troops and infantry, which will serve to subdue any threats to us. Now, Master Ratapala said, life in any world has no shelter and no protector. How should the meaning of that statement be understood? This is the second summary of the Dhamma. What do you think, Great King? Do you have any chronic ailment? I have a chronic wind ailment, Master Ratapala. Sometimes my friends and companions, kinsmen and relatives stand around me thinking, now King Korafia is about to die. Now King Korafia is about to die. What do you think, Great King? Can you command your friends and companions, your kinsmen and relatives? Come, my good friends and companions, my kinsmen and relatives. All of you present, share this painful feeling so that I may feel less pain? Or do you have to feel that pain yourself, alone? I cannot command my friends and companions, my kinsmen and relatives thus, Master Ratapala. I have to feel that pain, alone. Great King, it was on account of this that the Blessed One who knows and sees, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one, said, life in any world has no shelter and no protector. And when I knew, saw, heard this, I went forth from the household life into homelessness. It is wonderful, Master Ratapala. It is marvelous how well that has been expressed by the Blessed One who knows and sees, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one. Life in any world has no shelter and no protector. It is indeed so. This is the second summary of the Dhamma. The first one is life is unstable, it is swept away. Second one, life in any world has no shelter and no protector. The third summary of the Dhamma, Sister Akim, would you like to continue?
Master Ratapala, there exists in this court abundant gold coins and bullion stored away in vaults and loops. Now Master Pala said, life in any world has nothing of its own. One has to leave all and pass on. How should the meaning of that statement be understood? What do you think, Great King? You now enjoy yourself provided and endowed with the 5 chords of sensual pleasures. But can you be certain that in the life to come, you will likewise enjoy yourself provided and endowed with these same 5 chords of sensual pleasures? Or will others take over this property while you have to pass on according to your actions? I cannot be certain of what will happen in the life to come, Master Ratapala. On the contrary, others will take over this property while I shall have to pass on according to my actions. Great King, it was on account of this that the Blessed One who knows and sees, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one, said, life in any world has nothing of its own. One has to leave all and pass on. And when I knew, saw, and heard this, I went forth from the household life into homelessness.
Can you continue the last line?
It is wonderful, Master Ratapala. It is marvelous how well that has been expressed by the Blessed One, who knows and sees the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one. Life in any world has nothing of its own. One has to live all and pass on. It is indeed so.
Thanks, Sister Aki. This is the third summary of the Dhamma. When you have your house, your HDB, your condo, your landed house, your bungalow. Yes, in this lifetime, you will get to enjoy these 5 chords of pleasures from everything that you have. But when one passes away, what happens to your property? Can you bring over your HDB to the next life? I think we wish we can take over everything we have accumulated in our whole lifetime. Unfortunately, during death, we have to give everything away. This is similar to the concept of borrowed goods, the sutta that we read last week. Life in any world has nothing of its own. One has to live all and pass on. That's the third summary of the Dhamma. Sister Singhui, would you like to continue?
Now, Master Ratapala says, life in any world is incomplete, insatiate, how do I pronounce this?
Yeah, insatiate, that's correct.
Insatiate, correct. Sorry?
Insatiate.
Insatiate. Thank you. The slave of craving. How should the meaning of that statement be understood? What do you think, great king? Do you reign over rich, cruel country? Yes, Master Ratapala, I do. What do you think, great king? Suppose a trustworthy and reliable man came to you from the east and said, please know, great king, that I have come from the east, and there I saw a large country, powerful and rich, very populous and crowded with people. There are plenty of elephant troops there, plenty of cavalry, chariot troops, and infantry. There is plenty of ivory there, and plenty of gold coins and bullions, both unworked and worked, and plenty of women for wives. With your present forces, you can conquer it. Conquer it then, great king. What would you do? We would conquer it and win over it, Master Ratapala. What do you think, great king? Suppose a trustworthy and reliable man came to you from the west, from the north, from the south, from across the sea and said, please know, great king, that I have come across the sea, and there I saw a large country, powerful and rich, etc. Conquer it then, great king. What would you do? We would conquer it too and reign over it, Master Ratapala. Great king, it was on account of this that the Blessed One, who knows and sees, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one, say, life in any world is incomplete, insatiate, the slave of craving. And when I knew, saw, and heard this, I went forth from the household life into homelessness. It is wonderful, Master Ratapala. It is marvelous how well that has been expressed by the Blessed One, who knows and sees, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one. Life in any world is incomplete, insatiate, the slave of craving. It is indeed so.
Okay. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thanks, Sister Singhui. This sutta is taken from Majjhima Nikaya 82, Ratapala Sutta. Okay, the last one is very true, isn't it? The last summary of the Dhamma: life in any world is incomplete, insatiate, the slave of craving. And the example that Master Ratapala gave. Conquering the west, the north, the south from across the sea. If you take a look at currently what's happening with Russia trying to conquer Ukraine, with China wants to have the one China policy and launch a nuclear, not nuclear, some missiles in near the Japan area. So this has been happening even since the Buddha's time, and likely to continue far in the future. Yeah, until now and far in the future. In summary, the 4 summaries of Dhamma: life in any world is unstable, it is swept away, which signifies old age. Everyone will be afflicted by old age, and life in any world will be swept away by old age. The second summary of the Dhamma: life in any world has no shelter and protector. When one is afflicted by sickness, we can't gather the people around us, the loved ones, to share our pain. The third summary of the Dhamma: life in any world has nothing of its own. One has to leave all and pass on whatever worldly stuff we had accumulated, be it our property, be it our devices, and be it our whatever worldly stuff we have. Look around, all around you, all the worldly stuff. What, your jewelry, your watch, your phones, you can't bring it on to the next life. That's the third summary of the Dhamma. The last summary of the Dhamma: life in any world is incomplete, insatiate, the slave of craving. Means that our craving is, if we don't control it, it will always unable to be satisfied. When we have conquered one thing, we would want to have another thing, and then another, and then another. Have 1 HDB, 2 rooms, not enough. Upgrade, 3 rooms, 4 rooms, 5 rooms, and then get a condo. Upgrade to condo. Upgrade to condo, not enough. Need a landed house. Landed house, not enough. Need a good class bungalow. Good class bungalow, 1 not enough. We need 10 for each of our kids. 1 kid get 1 bungalow each. 10 bungalow, not enough. We want to buy the whole island. 1 whole island is not enough. We want to rule the whole country. 1 country is not enough. We want to take over other countries. This is how human is. This is why we are the slave of craving. Anything you'd like to add for this sutta? I think this is very good sutta and rings very true even until now. Any questions or anything, any comments? If not, let's do a dedication. 愿消三障诸烦恼，愿得智慧真明了，普愿罪障悉消除，世世常行菩萨道。阿弥陀佛。Here we read again. May we be guided by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Have a complete Sunday ahead.